Historic revaluation begins. Tier 4B exchange window officially opens. A new financial era unfolds. Welcome back to my channel Iraqi Dinar RV, July 6th, 2025. Today will be remembered as a milestone in global monetary history. The long-anticipated currency revaluation. RV has officially launched for Tier 4B, opening the doors for everyday holders of the Iraqi Dinar, IQD and Vietnamese Dong, VND, to exchange their notes at unprecedented contract-level rates. Exchange centers in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia have begun processing appointments, confirming that this massive financial shift is no longer just a theory. It's real, active, and happening now. For those who have followed this journey, acquiring IQD or VND with hopes of a future value reset, this is the moment of truth. Verified reports are coming in from trusted sources that can track exchange rates, previously accessible only to elite groups or sovereign entities, are now available to qualified individuals under Tier 4B, also known as the Internet Group. What are contract rates and why do they matter? Contract rates are negotiated, higher than market values for currencies based on real-world assets and sovereign agreements. Unlike the rates offered by commercial banks or currency kiosks, these values reflect the true resource wealth of a nation. For years, analysts have argued that Iraq's oil reserves and Vietnam's mineral resources were drastically undervalued in global markets. That inequity is now being corrected. Current peak contract rates have reached stunning levels. Iraqi Dinar, IQD reportedly exchanging at $9.38 per note Vietnamese Dong, VND reaching up to $6.41 per million. These figures are not speculative. Verified exchange activity has confirmed these values are being honored at specialized centers. However, access to these high rates is not automatic. Recipients must go through a process involving compliance checks, identification protocols, KIC, and in many cases, non-disclosure agreements, NDA. Why now? What led to this moment? This revaluation did not happen overnight. Both Iraq and Vietnam have been laying the groundwork for years. Iraq completed a full de-dollarization process in late 2024, moving away from dependence on the US dollar and introducing a gold-backed digital dinar connected to the BRICS trade system. Vietnam likewise adjusted its economic framework by shifting reserves into gold-backed special drawing rights, SDRs, reducing reliance on Western-controlled financial institutions. These actions showed the global community that both countries were ready to back their currencies with tangible, sovereign wealth. Final audits of Iraq's oil fields and Vietnam's rare earth deposits earlier this year confirmed the legitimacy of these valuations, paving the way for international approval under Basel IV compliance guidelines. Tier 4B. Your time is now. Tier 4B includes members of the general public who are informed, prepared, and waiting for their opportunity to exchange. That opportunity has now arrived. Exchange centers in key global cities like Reno, Miami, Zurich, Dubai, Kuala Lumpur, and London are currently conducting transactions under high security and strict procedural oversight. Biometric scans, documentation checks, and in-person briefings are standard, with many centers operating 24/7 to meet global demand. If you haven't received your exchange appointment yet, don't worry. The rollout is structured in waves to ensure order and security. Your turn is coming, but you must be ready. What you need to prepare to be eligible for the highest contract rates, individuals must meet specific criteria. 1. Authenticated currency. Ensure your notes are legitimate and traceable to legal purchase. 2. Documentation. Valid government ID, proof of currency purchase, and tax information. 3. Humanitarian proposal. Optional but powerful. Submitting a plan showing how your exchange funds will contribute to community betterment can increase your chance of receiving the top-tier rates. Thousands of participants who submitted humanitarian projects, such as housing initiatives, clean water programs, veteran services, or youth education, are reportedly being offered the most generous rates. Why? Because this financial event is about more than personal wealth. It's about global renewal and responsibility. Tax implications and legal considerations, one of the most frequently asked questions. Will I owe taxes on my exchange? Here's what we know. Individuals exchanging through authorized centers under contract agreements and NDAs may qualify for tax-exempt status in certain jurisdictions due to sovereign treaty protections. However, this depends entirely on the terms of your contract and your country's laws. Those exchanging at standard banks without NDAs may face capital gains or income taxes on profits. The takeaway: don't go in blind. Consult with a financial or legal advisor experienced in international banking and currency law. One misstep could cost you a significant portion of your proceeds. The window won't stay open forever, although the Tier 4B exchange window is now active. Sources suggest the peak rate period will last just 5 to 7 days. After that, rates may begin tapering downward, eventually stabilizing to public market levels. Analysts forecast a post-RV stabilization at IQD $3.85 per note VND $1.42 to $1.65 per note. Still impressive, but nowhere near the current contract values being offered. That's why timing is crucial. Be prepared, but don't rush. Ensure you have your paperwork, understand the process, and are mentally and emotionally ready for this life-changing step. Geopolitical impact. While the U.S. Treasury and global central banks remain silent in public, insiders report that significant preparations have been underway for months. Gold reserves have shifted, alternative SWIFT systems activated, and digital ledgers updated, all to accommodate this coordinated revaluation process. The success of Iraq and Vietnam proves that emerging nations can rise economically without the traditional gatekeepers like the IMF or World Bank. Their entry into BRICS financial architecture and use of asset-backed currencies is a major geopolitical win, one that may inspire other countries to follow suit in the coming months and years. Final thoughts. Your moment to act today, July 6, 2025, is more than a date, it's a turning point. We urge you to proceed with focus, integrity, and purpose. This event is not just a windfall, it's a responsibility. You now have the opportunity to use this wealth for good, to invest in your family, your community, and a more equitable world. Remain vigilant. Watch for official communications. Avoid rumors, scams, and unauthorized channels. Dress professionally for your appointment. Know your goals, and be ready to articulate how you intend to use your funds, especially if humanitarian projects are involved. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's not about overnight riches. It's about shifting toward a new era of value, sovereignty, and service. Congratulations to those who stayed the course. The revaluation is no longer a dream, it's your new reality. Stay informed, stay responsible, and step boldly into your future. Disclaimer: this article is intended for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. The foreign exchange market is inherently risky and prone to misinformation. Consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decision. Iraqi Dinar RV is not liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use or reliance on this content.